losing the men in the turns. My brother rides a motorcycle. He's in the middle of his life. And see, when men get in the middle of life, they do crazy stuff. He shaved his head and got an earring in his ear and wrapped a rag around his head and bought him a motorcycle. Got on a motorcycle. He's a little bit older than me. I'm 47. My brother's about 56. He's 56. He jumped on a motorcycle and he put his wife on the back of the motorcycle. I say this, he looks almost exactly like me. And I say this everywhere I go because I want you to understand, his wife is a white woman. She's got blonde hair. So when you hear that Bishop Jakes was on a motorcycle with a white woman on the back, it wasn't me, it was my brother. So don't start no rumors about me, about no, I married a sister. Okay, anyway. Ain't nothing wrong with it. Teach his own. Ain't no problem. It's all good. But I'm just making a point. Zoom, zoom, zoom. He gets on the back of his back. And his wife, her name is Sharon. We call her Ellie Mae because she's country. Both of us come out the hills. And she's wild as wild. Be here. She gets on the back of the Harley with him. And there he's zoom, zoom, zoom. And he's going down the road. She says, "Oh, Ernest, stop, Ernest. You're going to kill us. Oh, God. Ernest, stop now." And they just flying down the road, going through midlife crisis. And so my brother says to me, he said, "Let me tell you something, Tommy." He said, "Tommy," he said, "I'm on a motorcycle with Sharon and we're driving down the road." He said, "We're doing good in the straightaway. We flying, man." He said, "The wind is blowing." He said, "You need to be on a motorcycle. It's a wonderful thing. The wind is blowing. You feel young again." And she's right behind you and she's screaming and hollering and we're going through traffic. And we're having a great time. He said, "But when we get to the turn," he said, "Sharon almost killed me in the turn." I said, "What are you talking about?" He said, "See," he said, "when you get in the turns and you're riding on the back of the motorcycle, when you get in the turn, you got to move when I move." And when he hung up the phone, I said, "Oh, wait a minute, I got to start writing again because you just gave me a point." He gave me an illustration to explain to women where we are losing our sons and how we are losing our husbands and how you're losing men. You're not losing us in the straightaway. You're not losing us in the straightaway. As long as everything is straight and normal and predictable, we do real good. It's in the turns. When you go this way and I go that way, you're losing us in the turns. See? When it's my turn, you have to move the way I move. You have to deal with it the way I deal with it. If I don't come unglued, you can't come unglued. If I'm quiet, you got to be quiet. When I get ready to talk, you got to be ready to talk. Because this is my turn, and you're losing us in the turns. I'm going to identify some turns for you. Can I do that? If he's a man who loves to work and is responsible and take care of himself, and all of a sudden he loses his job, for him it's a crisis. He's in the middle of a turn. He becomes somber, silent, quiet, reserved, angry, confused, intimidated, and he's in a turn. You got to be careful what you say to him right now. You got to be careful how you react to him right now. He's sensitive. He's vulnerable. He's in the middle of a turn. If he gets to the middle of his life and he's got crisis with the kids and his parents are dying, now he's in a turn. Death is a turn that's unbelievable. If he develops a sickness in his life, something goes wrong in his body, he's in the middle of a turn. And if you're gonna make it in the marriage to 50 years and 60 years, you got to be careful. It ain't the straightaways where you're losing us, it's in the turns. When he gets in a turn, you can't let your mouth take over the situation. You got to flow the way he flows, because he's in a turn, and you will lose your son or your husband.